It does surprise me how much acidic foods I'm actually taking in a day. In the morning I start with coffee and then I move to Diet Cola. I usually have a salad with dressing and tomatoes. Certain things in my diet could be causing acid erosion. When the enamel of your teeth erodes, it's not coming back. My dentist suggested that I use Pronamel. It was going to help protect against some of the acid that I was taking in throughout the day. By using Pronamel twice a day, I feel more confident about my smile and about the health of my teeth.
Hi, I'm Rob Eder, and you're watching Drugstore News TV. Today, we're downtown in Lower Manhattan at 100 Broadway for the grand opening of another big flagship store for Duane Reade. I'm here with Mike Defazio from Walgreens, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the new stuff that's going on in this really, really exciting store. Mike, you know, Walgreens and Duane Reade together have this mission to evolve the drugstore into something that's called the health and daily living store. Talk to us a little bit about how that mission is embodied in the store we're standing in today.
Well, I think that from an overall concept point of view, our mission, even though as Duane Reade, our mantra is New York Living Made Easy, our overall mission is to be the health and daily living destination for everybody in America. So I think this store capsules that with respect to the offering we put in the store and the content relevancy that plays towards our definition of being a health and daily living destination for everybody in America. And if you look around the store, you know, we have grab-and-go food downstairs and a big play on convenience food. And then as you come upstairs, you have a greeting card play, and then you come up to the second floor level where we have our pharmacy here. We have a full bridge pharmacy that takes us into the next generation of pharmacy as a Walgreens and Duane Reade brand. And then a full assortment of health aids leading right into what we consider beauty, but beauty from as much a beauty perspective as a health perspective. So we're kind of trying to acclimate health and beauty as to be a together brand, that because there's a lot about beauty health that's just as important as medicine health.
And we see that reflected in a lot of the signage in the store, how I look, how I feel together in the one area.
Yeah, and that was always our mission from the strategy that we started with 4.5 years ago from the Duane Reade brand, and that was, hey, let's zone the store, make it comfortable for the customer to shop in it, but zone it in a way where we're convenient, and then we have health and beauty playing as a brand together, so we get people to understand that beauty health is just as important as medicine health.
Interesting. I think that really is reflected here. You know, this is the second flagship store for Duane Reade in about a year. And, you know, the funny thing is these stores are only a few blocks away from each other. I mean, you could really walk very quickly to 40 Wall Street. But with that, you know, Manhattan, the real estate, the neighborhoods, they change just as quickly. And, you know, over at 40 Wall Street, it's clearly a play for the folks that are working in the markets and some of the residential people and some of those buildings that are sprinkled in the blocks in between. But over here on 100 Broadway, it's a slightly different mix. Talk to us a little bit about the consumer that we're trying to target here.
Well, you know, when we decided to take this space here at 100 Broadway, knowing it's 100 yards from 40 Wall Street, we had a little bit of a concern that we wouldn't jeopardize our business at 40 Wall Street, but we did a lot of traffic surveys to understand who our customer was in each location. And quite frankly, it's a different customer. And it's hard to believe 100 yards away in New York you can have a different customer, but it's just the way New York is. Wall Street, yeah, very much built for the people who work there and then the people who reside there. And a little bit of tourism on the weekends and people who go down to see the stock exchange and stuff. Here, much more transient customer, a lot more tourists here. We're right on the grounds here of the World Trade Center and the hallowed grounds of Broadway here. And we also have a lunchtime crowd here of workers who work in the area. So this is a different customer than 40 Wall Street. And we've been open about a month now, and our traffic studies have proven true. So we're really happy to see that what we did our due diligence in actually showed up in our business. And both stores are operating independently and very successfully.
So let's talk about some of the new features in this store, because it really is an exciting space and there's a lot going on here. What can customers expect to find here that maybe they didn't see in some of the other stores?
So when we were deciding on content here, we spent a lot of time talking about how we would complement Wall Street, knowing we were only 100 yards away, and yet give the store its due diligence in terms of what the customer would expect to see inside of a Duane Reade store. So from a conceptual standpoint, on the lower level where we have food and convenience, flagship for us is about experimenting with concepts. And we took some new concepts here that do not appear in 40 Wall Street or any other Duane Reade at this point in time, such as chopped salad and soup, and a barista bar with full pastry selection that also does not appear in 40 Wall Street. And Test Lab did here. And so far the results have been pretty amazing. So we use this flagship concept to see where these different commodities become relevant, okay, and then say where could we roll them out that makes sense, where we could actually roll it forward. And you know, from a beauty perspective up here, we didn't put a look boutique knowing we had one just 100 yards down the road, but we did sort of a hybrid look boutique from what I would call it. We have high-end skincare here. We have some of the elements of look boutique, but not all of the elements of look boutique. And we didn't think it was necessary to put all the elements of look boutique, knowing we just had this brand so close together, and that we can actually walk our customers down there if we need to, if they wanted something in a different range. But didn't want to not give the customers who shop here the really high-end skin brand and pretty much the staple brand of our look boutique.
You know, we're right across the street from Trinity Church, the oldest cemetery in all of the United States. I mean, this area is very rich with history and the architecture, the buildings. Talk about how this store really reflects the history.
Our whole approach as we take on these significant buildings in New York and across the United States is to keep the heritage of the building and the architectural appeal that existed here for many, many years and give it its due justice. With respect to this store in itself, we're overlooking Broadway, Canyon of Heroes, hallowed ground, Trinity Church, oldest cemetery, and we did a museum quality exhibit here that reflects just that. So what we put up on the walls here are a number of the parades and a number of the people that were honored on Broadway for something great that they did, or to celebrate a sporting event that they won, but more importantly to tell our customers and the people in the store the significance of looking out the windows here and saying, this is Lower Broadway, this is where it all happened, and it's going to continue to happen. If you go down further down, we actually left some frames blank and said, what's next? Huh. So I think it's exciting to protect the look, the heritage, and the feel of the store and where it's located.
How has the integration of the two companies really helped Duane Reade stake out more of a presence in pharmacy?
Well, I think when you did that interview in Wall Street with Joe Manacker back in July of last year, we had just put the first bridge pharmacy that integrated all the Walgreens systems into the Duane Reade store. And we opened that store powered by Walgreens in our pharmacy. Since that date, we've been able to convert all 253 of our stores to the Walgreens network, which makes getting a prescription seamless across the United States for all our Duane Reade customers, and that's significant.
So, you know, this is a huge store. There's a lot of terrific stuff going on. Inside of it is all this exciting stuff. How are customers relating to all of this?
Well, I think, you know, we built a beautiful store. It's pretty, right? But the most important thing in a store is content relevancy. And if you don't have content relevancy, it doesn't matter how pretty you are, customers just aren't going to repeat shop. And I think what we've accomplished here, and it's not about the size, it's about what we've put in the store from a content point of view, has really established the store as a point of difference for the customer. And you know, listen, content relevancy is our goal. We want to be relevant to all of our customers and become the health and daily living solution for everyone. And we're working very hard over the last 4 years to develop not only the strategy around how we want to lay the store out, but the strategy around what we're really going to sell in each individual store based on demographic, ethnicity, income level, and neighborhood. And I think we're going to analyze every store going forward on that basis and make every store content relevant, which to me is the most significant thing you can do in a retail environment.